While E3 2018 was filled with amazing games like Cyberpunk 2077, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Last of Us Part 2, there were a handful of notable games that were nowhere to be found throughout the show. So, we decided to gather the 15 biggest games that were complete no-shows at E3 2018. Keep in mind that we didn't include any games that haven't been officially announced, like a new Splinter Cell or Star Fox Grand Prix, and we also scratched any from the list if the developer or publisher confirmed it wouldn't be at the show beforehand, like Borderlands 3. So, here are the 15 biggest games missing from E3 2018. We all had our fingers crossed that we'd get our first look at the Final Fantasy VII Remake in years, either at Sony or Square's conference. After all, we haven't seen anything new from it since PSX 2015. Sadly, Square's focus was clearly on Kingdom Hearts 3. Here's hoping that we hear from the highly anticipated remake after Kingdom Hearts launches on January 29th, 2019. While Rockstar generally doesn't attend E3, Red Dead Redemption 2's partnership with Sony had us hoping that we'd see a new trailer on stage at Sony's conference. However, Sony stuck to their word, and a majority of their showcase focused on Death Stranding, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man. The reveal of Metroid Prime 4 at E3 2017 was one of the biggest surprises of the show. But since then, Nintendo has been absolutely radio silent on the project, to the point where we're not even sure who's developing it. We thought we might see more at this year's E3, but clearly, Nintendo was focused almost solely on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Another game that was revealed at E3 2017 and then went quiet, we still don't really know what the core Pokemon game for Switch coming in 2019 is going to be like. However, any hopes we had of learning about it at E3 this year were dashed when Nintendo revealed Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which are clearly their focus for the end of 2018. It's been a year and a half since we saw the reveal teaser for Crystal Dynamics' Avengers project. Since then, we've heard next to nothing about the game. Like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, we were hoping that we'd see more at Square's E3 conference, but sadly, yet another show has passed without any more information on the game. We last saw Michel Ancel's non-Ubisoft game at Paris Games Week 2015, but it's been nearly 3 years and we haven't heard a peep about it. Which kind of makes sense considering that Ancel is clearly busy on Beyond Good and Evil 2. Shenmue 3 was one of the big surprises at Sony's conference in 2015, and went on to be one of the most successful video game Kickstarters of all time with over $6 million in pledges. Since then, we've been drip-fed updates on the project, including the pre-E3 news that the game would be delayed to 2019. Okay, can we all just come together and accept the fact that Deep Down, which was first shown at the PS4 reveal event in 2013, is never coming out? The Last Night was one of the highlights of Microsoft's E3 2017 conference. Since then, we highlighted a developer diary as part of our December IGN First, but other than that, updates on the indie have been largely absent. Valve announced Artifact, a Dota 2 card game, back in March. While we got a chance to go hands-on with it, they never released any official gameplay videos. Sadly, it was a no-go at E3. Here's to hoping we see more at the Invitational in August. Speaking of Valve, one of the highlights of the 2017 Game Awards was the reveal of Campo Santo's follow-up to Firewatch called In the Valley of Gods. Since then, the only major update to the game was the news that Campo Santo had been acquired by Valve and moved development of the gorgeous-looking 2019 game from San Francisco up to Seattle. One of the most surprising absences from E3 was Yoshi for Nintendo Switch. We saw quite a bit of gameplay back at E3 2017 and expected the same this year. However, it was nowhere to be found at the show, with Nintendo confirming that the game has been delayed into 2019. Bayonetta 3 was revealed as a Switch exclusive during the 2017 Game Awards back in December. However, like a lot of the Nintendo games on this list, we haven't really heard anything about it since. Another reveal from the Game Awards at the end of 2017 was Witchfire, a shooter from the folks who made The Vanishing of Ethan Carter and Bulletstorm. The initial trailer pointed towards a marriage of the beauty of the former with the insane action of the latter, but we'll have to wait a bit longer to get any more details on the project. This is another one of those games that we're pretty sure has either been cancelled or completely reworked. The game has been notably absent from shows since its big presence at Gamescom way back in 2014. Well, at least we got a Dying Light 2 announcement at E3 to tide us over. There you have it, 15 of the biggest games that didn't make it to this year's E3. Let us know which one you're most excited for, and if you liked this, check out why we named Cyberpunk 2077 our E3 2018 Game of the Show.